Hello, I'm back. Have you ever imagined that the very child you raised with love could one day become your own executioner? It sounds unreal, almost impossible. But in reality, it has happened. These children carry the innocent faces of angels, yet within their veins flows the blood of demons. They are tiny reapers born from the shadows, where love transforms into ruthless betrayal. The stories I'm about to share with you go far beyond anything you could ever imagine. Are you sure you're still safe right now? Hit like, share, and subscribe. Because if you don't, I can't promise you'll remain as peaceful as you are at this very moment. All right then, let's begin.
Bro, this girl killed her mom for the most absurd reason. If you weren't already aware, this is 15-year-old Carly Gregg, and you may have seen her on your For You page because she was recently sentenced to life in prison. See, this all started several months ago when Carly returned home from school only to find her mom searching through her room. See, apparently Carly's mom had heard that Carly was displaying strange behaviors at school, which is why she decided to conduct the room search. And it was during this search that she found vapes and a burner phone which belonged to Carly. And at that point, Carly was completely exposed, but instead of asking for help and admitting that she had a problem, she decided to do something utterly unthinkable. You see, without any hesitation, Carly went to her parents' bedroom, retrieved a gun, and then used it to shoot her mom twice in the head, unaliving her. Then, later that night, when her dad came home, she tried shooting him too, but luckily it only hit his shoulder and he survived. And it wasn't long after that the police found her and arrested her. And since the evidence against Carly was so clear, she was immediately charged with first-degree murder as well as attempted murder. However, in court, Carly's attorneys tried arguing that she was suffering from severe mental health issues at the time of the crime, and that she should therefore not be found guilty by reason of insanity. And this shit just pisses me off, cause like bro, why would you want to release this girl back into society, especially if she's mentally ill? Thankfully, Carly was still found guilty of her crimes and sentenced to a well-deserved life in prison. We can only hope that she never gets out.
I'd bet that before you heard this story, you pictured a happy home as a place full of love. After this, nothing will look the same. A home is only happy so long as it doesn't have the power to turn into a coffin, like the house in that case. This child committed an act no one can accept. She killed her mother and nearly sent her father to join her. Luckily, that plot failed. I can find no flicker of remorse in her eyes. She belongs behind bars. She deserves to suffer for what she's done. That is the price one must pay for becoming cold-blooded and utterly inhuman. Before we move on to the next story, I want to ask you, does anyone here want to become a legend? I'm willing to bet most of you would say yes. Who wouldn't want fame and recognition, right? Yet somewhere in the dark there exist legends no one dares to speak of. Places where cruelty rules like a tyrant and crowns are forged from the blood of unlucky victims. The next story I bring you also speaks of a legend soaked in dread and horror. Buckle your seatbelt immediately because the story begins in...
Two of the siblings in this photo stabbed their entire family with plans to kill hundreds more. Michael and Robert Bever were the oldest brothers in what appeared to be a happy homeschooled family. Their 13-year-old sister tried to warn their parents that they were collecting knives and body armor, but they brushed it off as boys being boys. We now know that on July 22nd, 2,000 rounds of ammunition were on the way to the family's home in Broken Arrow. The 16 and 18-year-olds were sick of their life, and they had a plan. They'd quickly kill their family, hide their dismembered bodies in the attic, and then go on a killing spree through Washington state. Around 11:30 that night, April Bever told her two teens that they needed to head downstairs to do the dishes. Their sister Krista walked in to remind them and strangely found that their knives were laid out on their bed. Michael then asked Robert if they should do it right now, and he replied yes. With that, Krista was asked to go look at something on their computer, and as soon as she did, Robert came up from behind and slit her throat. He found that it, quote, wasn't like on TV where you cut them once and they die. From here, the boys presumably killed their parents and then set off to search for where their four youngest siblings were hiding. They first found 5-year-old Victoria and 7-year-old Christopher locked in a bathroom, and horrifically, Michael knocked on the door and pretended he was about to be killed. As soon as his siblings opened the door to save him, he stabbed them 20+ times. Now, around the same time, a 911 call came in from 12-year-old Robert, who was still hiding in the bathroom. To kill him, the boys did the same horrible thing. Michael pretended he was being attacked, and when Daniel opened the door for him, he too was stabbed to death. As we know, the boys then planned to decapitate their 2-year-old sister, but before they could, police were knocking at the door. As canines surrounded them, Michael reportedly told his brother, quote, "It was a pleasure doing business with you." During police interrogations, it would become clear the boys wanted to be more famous than Columbine and did intend to go on that killing spree. The ammunition arrived at their house the following day, but thankfully it was never used. In the end, both Michael and Robert were sentenced to life, despite allegations of abuse in their family. Crystal actually survived the attack along with her 2-year-old sister, and they've been adopted by the same family. Hopefully they are healthy, happy, and healing in their new life.
Ew, that's horrifying. Those 2 boys plotted to kill their entire family, and by some cruel twist of fate, a few survived. What could turn 2 ordinary people into merciless monsters in an instant? Plotting a family slaughter was only their opening act. They wanted more, to become a legend of violence. During interrogation, police reported that they showed no remorse whatsoever. Cold, calculated, brutally cruel. The surviving children were taken from that place of blood and death, adopted and moved far away. Honestly, that house was nothing short of a living hell. Even now, and surely for the rest of their lives, the survivors are haunted by that apocalyptic day. Were the 2 stories I just told enough to make your skin crawl? The ones ahead will only grow darker, each one twisting your trust in the world around you. You'll remain safe if you like and share this video. If you don't, well, you already know what might happen. But don't worry. Follow my words, and that drop of sweat sliding down your forehead won't turn into blood. Now, tell me, have you ever hated your parents? I bet many of you would say yes, especially when they banned you from playing your favorite video game. Sounds familiar, right? The boy in the next story was just like you. He was furious when his parents stopped him from playing. But unlike us, he wasn't human anymore. He was a monster, an evil spirit in human skin. And his idea of revenge? It was nothing short of horrifying, cruel, and unforgettable.
This teenager took the life of his own mother after she took away his video game. In Ohio in 2007, 16-year-old Daniel Petrich was arrested for shooting both of his parents over a video game. Daniel had developed an addiction to the popular video game Halo and played for over 8 hours every single day. Daniel's parents saw how extreme his addiction became and felt that taking away the video game was the only way to help their son. Little did they know this would set him off. Daniel soon became enraged and stole his father's gun with terrifying intentions. Daniel then shot both of his parents and placed the gun in his father's hand, attempting to stage a fake scene, a murder-suicide. When police arrived to the scene, Daniel's mother did not survive, but his father lived and shared the truth of what had happened. During his trial, Daniel claimed his excessive time spent on the game created a false sense of reality and led to his breakdown. Regardless, Daniel was found guilty and sentenced to a minimum of 23 years in prison before being eligible for parole.
I'd bet his parents never imagined there would come a day when the son they loved would kill them. Every warning they gave came from care, but he treated it as a nuisance. And that attitude drove him to a stupid, fatal decision. His parents are dead, and the last shred of decency inside him has died too. The least he should pay is 23 years locked in a dark cell. Let him drown in guilt and remorse. A demon deserves nothing less than hell. What do you make of that story? Horrifying and gruesome, right? But wait, that wasn't even the peak of terror. The final story I'm about to bring you will give you goosebumps and make you question everything you see. Many of you watching are true crime fans. You may have heard 100 real-life murder stories, but have you ever truly witnessed one unfold? In the next story, the killer actually live-streamed the murder of her own mother. Make sure you're strong enough. The story begins in 3, 2, 1.
She took her mom's life on Facebook Live.
Tu Nancy me está lastimando pellizcando mi oreja. No me pellizques con tus uñas. Okay, you're my first. Yes, I promise you will sleep tonight. Infinitely.
On January 8th of 2024, 28-year-old Tananzin Beltran went with her mom, 55-year-old Olivia, to a Santa Rosa police station. Tananzin needed to go there to pick up her vehicle because it was impounded due to an earlier chase. While she was there, she was filming herself waving around a pocket knife in front of everybody. An officer stated that she seemed too mentally unstable to drive but still let her go home. Once her and her mother drove to their apartment, they were parked outside, and that's when Tananzin started live streaming. In the video, Olivia is telling Tananzin that she is hurting her ear and to please stop. Tananzin then tells her mom that she is going to make sure that she sleeps tonight forever and that she is going to be her first. Around 5 p.m., Tananzin was continuing with her Facebook Live when she stabbed her mother. Viewers of the live ended up contacting the police to let them know what they had just witnessed. Once officers arrived to the scene, they saw Tananzin standing on her apartment balcony holding a knife in her hand. Right next to her was her mother, and her clothes were all soaked in blood. Tananzin had failed to respond to commands from the police, so a group of officers broke through her front door and she was arrested. Olivia had suffered numerous stab wounds and was rushed to a local hospital. Unfortunately, surgeons were unable to overcome the extensive life-threatening injuries and she passed away. Tananzin was arrested on 1 count of murder and is currently being held without bail at the Marin County Jail, even though she pled not guilty due to insanity.
Oh my gosh. She stabbed her own mother and felt no guilt at all. What could have possibly happened between them? Was the conflict so deep that she could drive a knife into her mother without hesitation? We may never know the full truth. What we do know is this. Her mother now lies in a coffin instead of on a soft bed. The viewers who watched that live stream will carry the scars of that moment for the rest of their lives. Another demon has been born into this world. How many more will rise in the future? Will our world truly turn into a living hell? Comment your thoughts below and let me know what you think. Before we end, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe so you won't miss more chilling stories ahead. Goodbye, and I'll see you next time.